Strat-O-Matic Excel Carryover League. Brought to you by the Shrimp Troll.
(1973 to 1976). Welcome back, baseball fans, to 1973-76 Carryover League. Another opening day. And today, it's a game between Las Vegas and the New York Mets. And Shea Stadium in New York. And might seem like it's an easy schedule for the Mets, but Vegas has won that expansion division 2 of the last 3 years, I believe. So they're no slouch. And you don't want to... They gave the Cubs some problems in the playoffs a year ago, I believe. So ultimately losing, though. Vegas and the New York Mets from Shea Stadium in New York, opening day starters. For Las Vegas, it's Jim Lonborg. Was a Philly in 74. 17-game winner with a 3.21 ERA and 283 innings. He had a really good 1972 for Milwaukee, and that parlayed him into a nice deal with the Phillies, where he would eventually go to a playoff series, I believe, or two. Of course, the Mets are going to counter with their ace, Tom Seaver. 73, 19-game winner, 2.08 ERA, and 230 innings. He is a starter 9. Love to see those. Vegas and the Mets. There's some interesting connections here as the Las Vegas employs Ron Hodges, Ken Boswell. Let's see, who else? Former Mets. Was Ken Brett a Met? Woody Fryman? I'm not sure. Danny Frisella certainly was. So, former Mets on Las Vegas against the New York Mets. If you're wondering about how Las Vegas, they like defense. They're a team that seeks out defense first. Some good pitching. Their offense is usually awful. Sounds like the Mets, actually, when you think about it. But anyway, from Shea Stadium, leading off, recent offseason acquisition, former New York Yankee, Sandy Alomar, now on Las Vegas. 59 short X. And it's normally Bud Harrelson, but he's not starting today. They got Junior Kennedy in the starting shortstop today. Let's see how this plays out. He kicks the ball. So there are Mets fans groaning, like, why did you not start Harrelson? Well, I would have started somebody else for once. Bud's getting up there in years, and so Junior Kennedy kicks the ball to start the season. This Vegas team loves to hit and run. They've got 1, 2, 3, 4 B hit and runners, and Greg Gross will do that. Runner has to steal on a 7, a roll of a 14. Alomar's a B stealer. Blackwell's a +1 arm. Boy, this is really close, isn't it? Being held on 13, 14, -2 is 12. He is out stealing. Wow. That's a break for the Mets. Rolled a 14, and he's a B stealer, and you're holding him on. Even with the +1 arm, he's still out. So first mistake there for the Mets after the first mistake for Vegas after the Mets made a mistake. Greg Gross, 3 7s, a walk. Tommy Davis, 43, left X. In left field, you've got, oh boy, Lee Lacy out there, 40-16 in left. That's a double. Second and third, Tom Hutton, 1-5, that's a walk. The bases are loaded. They got to bring it up for A. Bunning, Juan Beniquez. Now that stolen base, a hit and run looks pretty stupid now, because they could be running Seaver into deep trouble. 6-11 with the infield up, first X. First baseman, now he can field. Tony Salata's a 2-11 with the infield up. And he gets the 3-2-3 double play. So it turns out Benitez hit a smash to first. Instead of stepping on the bag, he throws the plate, he throws back to first on a 3-2-3 double play. Wow. And the Mets get out of it without any damage. Bottom of the first, here are your Mets. Leading off is Wayne Garrett, 32, Lomax. Batting second, center fielder Clyde Mayshore, 58. One of two Expos on this team that the Mets went out and got. 58 short X. Ed Brinkman's a 2-26. He was a 1. Now he's a 2. And with 2 outs, it's Lee Lacy. 1-8 short. Top of 2. Ken Boswell, 43. Left X. Left fielder, again, is our boy Lacy, 40-16. Fly ball A. We get a break there. Ken Berry, 2-8. Pops third. And Ron Hodges, 2-9. Rounds first. Bottom of the second. It's Tony Soleta, 39. He strikes out. Terry Harmon, 58. Former Philly. Grounds a short. Mets have retooled their offense. Got a lot more on-base percentage than average this year. 2-26. And Ed Brinkman makes an error. So, Junior Kennedy and Ed Brinkman, the shortstops, make errors early. Rusty Stahl, batting 6th. 5'11", short X. Here we go again. Now it's ground ball C. So still not a GBA. Runner moves up to second with 2 outs for John Milner, 67, who lines the third. Top of the third. Easy, Ed Brinkman, 2-6. Pops a short. Sandy Alomar, 57's a K. And Greg Gross, 49's a walk. Tommy Davis, 66, a strikeout. Bottom of the third, it's new Met catcher Tim Blackwell, 2-6. Rounds a short. Tim was actually a Red Sox in 73. 74. Here's Junior Kennedy. 1-6 is a K. With 2 outs, back up top to Wayne Garrett. 4-4 off the Lombard card. It's Homer 1-9. Double the rest. He misses the dinger. It's a 2-base hit. He's at second for Clyde Mayshore. 54, he pops second off Lombard. Pitcher's duel. Scoreless into the fourth. Tom Hutton, 69, center. I bet you Tom Hutton is as surprised as anybody that he's betting cleanup for Las Vegas, considering that he had 1 home run in 1976. So there's that. Juan Benitez, 1-4, grounds short. Ken Boswell, 37, grounds the first. Bottom of the fourth. Lee Lacy, 54, pops the second. Tony Soleta, 33, center. And Terry Harmon, 6'10", center X. Center field is Ken Berry, 1-1. Yeah, good luck on that Vegas defense trying to crack that. So Longboard with a 1-hitter as they go to the fifth. Ken Berry, 2-7, grounds the third. Hodges, 66, strikes out. And Ed Brinkman, 1-4. Let's take a look at the card. Here is Ed Brinkman. So he hit .203 in 1972 and got top 10 MVP votes because of his exquisite 1-E8 defense. It definitely did help the Tigers win the American League East and challenge Oakland for a World Series berth. But now he's back to being a .237 hitter in 1973 with 7 home runs, 16 doubles. But he is a 2 at shortstop, which is a little disappointing for a team that really prides itself on digging up and finding 1s everywhere. And by 1s, I mean they have A-Rod, 1E13 on the bench, Mike Anderson, 1E7, Ken Berry's a 1E1, Tom Hutton's a 1E4, and even Greg Gross in left field is a 2E1, which is pretty much as close as you can get to not being a 1 in the outfield. Ed Brinkman, 1-4, triple 1-3 is a base hit. Back up top to Alomar. 412 flies to right field. Seaver scoreless. Through the fifth, bottom half. Let's pause a moment for station identification.
This is the Shrimp Trawler video channel.
Este es el canal de videos de camaroneros.
Well, the scoreless, low scoring. We've had a lot of low scoring opening days thus far. Bottom of the fifth, Rusty Staub. 1-7, single 1-3. He lines out. John Milner, 2-7's a walk. Tim Blackwell, 36, is single dot. That's why he's in the lineup. He hits pretty well. Against righties, at least. Runners on the corners. Infield comes up for Junior Kennedy. 6-10 off Lomborg is center X. Your center fielder, Ken Berry's a 1-1. But you get a sac fly. Hey, that's nothing to laugh at when you got a 1 center fielder. A 1-1, you still get fly ball B on that. And that could be your ball game right there. Yeah, so Blackwell single dot, and there you go. So 2 outs now. Blackwell's at first for Wayne Garrett. 6-11 first X. And Tom Hutton's a 1-4. My goodness, this team does not make errors at all. I mean, if this really went the whole 162 games, you're looking at a 1 error left. You're looking at 7, 8, 9 errors in the outfield total. Hutton 4 makes 13. And then 13 for A-Rod. So it's 26 errors for everybody but your double play combo for an entire season. That would be impenetrable defense had it been realistic. 1-0 Mets into the 6th. It's Greg Gross. He's walked a few times today. 49, well, done it again. Taking a lot of pitches from Seaver to 3 walks. Tommy Davis, 68, finds left. Didn't hit and run that time. Tom Hutton, 210, flies to right. And Juan Beniquez, 2-6, grounds to short. Well, they didn't take advantage of a hit and run, and nothing happened. They tried a hit and run in the first inning. It was a disaster. Stays 1-0. Bottom of the 6th. Clyde Mayshore, 39 is a K. Lee Lacy, 2-3, pops to first. And Tony Soleta, 3-6, is a strikeout. We go to the 7th. It's Ken Boswell, former Met, had 3 straight pinch hits in the 73 series. Actually, this card. Well, no, actually, this is a Houston card, but I think he had a consecutive pinch hits World Series record. That's a 73 Met, if I'm not mistaken. Ken Boswell, 2-5, lines the first. Ken Berry, 6-11, first X. So Late's a 2-11. Makes the play. And with 2 outs, it's Ron Hodges. 56 is a strikeout. Well, the scorebook is simply going to say Tom Seaver, 7 innings, no runs allowed, 2 hits allowed. And you'd be like, yep, that's how he drew it up. In an unconventional way against a fictional expansion team. Here in Queens at Shea Stadium here in the Bronx, or not the Bronx, what am I talking about? Yeah, Shea Stadium. Stretch time music. We are, of course, enjoying listening to Lou Reed as soon as this thing pops up, if it ever does. The Rock and Roll Animal LP of, here we go, yeah. Of 1974, Intro, Sweet Jane, Heroin, 2 songs that the copyright monsters took away from us so we can't hear them. White Light, White Heat, Lady Day, and of course, Rock and Roll. So there you go, folks. Your Lou Reed fix. Bottom of the 7th. Lonborg's going to continue with just 1 zip, folks. And it was a sac fly after a ground ball. I mean, you know, hardly anything going on here. Must be chilly and cold in New York. No, batters just can't get a good grip on the pine tar there. Terry Harmon, 4-11, left X. And here's Gross, a 2-1 in left field. Forget it. Rusty Staub, 49, single 1-2, lines out. And John Milner, 46. There's a hit off of Monofusco. There's a hit off of Lomborg. Double 109 is a base hit. And Tim Blackwell, the star of the star, 54, pops to second base. Well, you know what, folks? We are going to bring in some defense for your New York Mets. Jerry Grote's going to now catch, Bud Harrelson's going to play short, and Tom Seaver's digging this. 1 run might as well be 10 runs when you bring those cats in. Let's get Don Hahn in center field. And we'll get Milner out of here, too. And have Lee Lacy go to DH, which is a great thing for Lee Lacy to be doing. So we got defense. Now the Mets have defense. You got a -2-1 Grote. Slade is a 2. Harmon's decent, 327. Harrelson's a 1-14. Garrett's not too bad, 317. But you got Don Hahn in center. It's a 2-4. Russie's a 3. Mayshore goes to left as a 3. To the 8th we go. Number 9 hitter. Yep, Ed Brinkman. He's 1 for 2. 1-5. You saw the card. Grounds a short. Sandy Alomar, 411. Right X. Rusty's a 3-4 in right field. He makes the catch. And Greg Rose, 2-7, is a grounder to second base. Bottom of the 8th inning here. And Lomborg is, well, no reason to take him out. He's been outstanding. But it'll be now, instead of Junior Kennedy, it'll be Bud Harrelson. 56 is a K. Back up top to Wayne Garrett. 1-6 is a K. And with 2 outs, it's Clyde Mayshore. 35 is a walk. And Lee Lacy. 2-5. Let's take a look at Lee Lacy's card. Lacy. So, history. He started as a Dodger. Couldn't find a place to play on that team. Was a reserve mostly. Ended up on the Pirates late in the decade. Did very well in their outfield. Those were the best years of Lee Lacy's career. But the Mets went out and got him once they knew that the Dodgers were going to hold on to Davey Lopes at second base. And who knows? The Mets just might hold on to Lacy as this timeline evolves all the way to the late 70s, and maybe he doesn't play for the Pirates. We don't know. Or maybe they trade him to the Pirates at that point. But for now, he's having a nice year. 75 Dodger with a 314 average, 306 at-bats. Might have been the high playing time for the Dodgers during this era. 1-1 to 11, and he gets the RBI triple. That's a killer. Doubles the deficit for Vegas. RBI triple makes it 2-0. Runner at third, 2 outs. Tony Soleta, 66, flies right. This should be easy peasy for Tom Seaver. A starter at 9, who could even go 10 if needed. Of course, they do have Apotica and Scarce and Parker and Carruthers in the bullpen and such, but we expect Seaver to finish this. In the 9th, it's Tommy Davis. 110 is a base hit. B. Steeler, but with a 2-0 lead, he goes down to second base. Tommy Hutton, 2-2, fouls to the catcher. Juan Beniquez, 37, is a K. And with 2 outs, it's up to former Met Ken Boswell. Let's take a look at his card. 75, he also was a Houston Astro. With a 242 average. And yeah, second and third, left-handed bat. Sometimes he's got power, sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes he hits lefties very well. Most of the time he doesn't. Great pinch hitter. Gets the everyday spot, so he's happy. Ken Boswell will be happy to play every day on an expansion team versus sitting on the bench for a contender. And here is the pitch. 46 off Seaver, and this is how Seaver beats you. 1-1, fly ball the rest. We look up, of course, it's a 6. That's a fly ball the rest, and terrific Tom. We love it. Terrific Tom on opening day with a CGSO. 2-0 victory over Las Vegas. Stick around, stay tuned, whatever like you say there. We'll have the stats and the results of the remaining games of this series. Of course, it's the best of 5. Game 2 here in the Queens will be Ken Brett for Vegas and John Matlack. So we'll give you the results of that game plus games 3, 4, and 5 if necessary. So stick around. All right, folks, we're going to show you what has happened in this series, beginning with the box score of Game 1 that you just watched. Of course, the Mets winning 2-zip. Seaver, 3-hit shutout, 4 walks, 5 Ks. Bad day for Jim Lomborg to be on the opposite dugout because he pitched fantastic. Just 4 hits, 2 walks, 6 strikeouts, a sac fly, and a 2-out triple were the only mistakes he made all day. But Vegas would lose. They have pretty bad offense, probably the worst offense in the whole sport. Game 2 for the Mets. It is John Matlack now against Ken Brett. A little more offense. Most of it came late. Scoreless again. Till the 6th inning when you get a Don Hahn double and scores on a Wayne Garrett single, 1-0. Then, in the bottom of the 7th, you get a Milner single and Bud Harrelson RBI double, 2-0. But here come the Vegas team trying to score their first runs of the series. A leadoff double, triple. A triple by Ed Brinkman. Singles by Alomar Davis and a sac fly by Greg Gross. We had a 2-2 game. In the 9th inning, both teams score. Interesting. Barry Foote double scores on a 2-base error by Lee Lacy. He's made a lot of errors so far. But in the bottom half, Max Leon tries to get the save. He was brilliant a year ago for Vegas. Gets a ground out. Brinkman makes an error at short. Probably he wouldn't have made that error a year ago. A fly out to right field. 2 outs, man at first. And then Don Hahn bats against a righty where he's weak against. Rolls homer 1-2, double the rest, gets the double, and Milner scores from first incredulously. Probably a 10% chance, if that, to extend the game, and they do. First extra inning, nothing happened. Second extra inning, the road team got an RBI single by Ken Berry, and they take a 4-3 lead. But in the bottom half of the 11th inning, with a runner at second, Lee Lacy, we saw this in game 1, he had an RBI triple, tied it, and Terry Harmon knocked him in. It's a 5-4 victory for the Mets in 11 innings. Apodaca went 3 innings of 1-run relief, got a no decision. It was Scarce who gave up the run in the 11th, but actually got the win. Matlack went 7 strong innings, giving up a couple runs. Ken Brett went 8 strong innings, giving up a couple runs. Max Leon, the closer, gave up the 1 run in the 9th, but in the 11th inning, Jim Easterly, couldn't get anybody out. Mets are up 2-0. Can they get a sweep in the desert? Hot, sultry, the Vegas, the Taj Mahal, the Riviera, the Buick Rivieras. That's what they're named after. I should have called them the Sabres or something. I don't know. Game 3, Jerry Koosman for the Mets, Woody Fryman for Vegas. Hey, Vegas is starting to get some runs, sort of. Second inning, they get 3 singles and an RBI double by Tommy Davis, 2-0. Mets get 3 singles and a run in the 3rd. Then the Mets get a single, a walk. Lee Lacy swinging the bat. I mean, he is one eye open, one eye closed, folks. You put him in the batter's box, he's a wrecking ball. You put him in the outfield, he wrecks some balls. Because in the bottom of the 5th inning, fly ball to Lee Lacy, he drops it. Then another fly ball to Lee Lacy, drops another one. Back-to-back 2 base errors on Lee. Wish we could put him at DH, but John Milner's the DH, and he's technically worse. So that Mets have to figure out what they're going to do to get all these wonderful bats in their lineup and still be able to field. 6th inning, an error by Bud Harrelson leads to 2 more unearned runs off of confused Jerry Koosman, wondering, where's Cleon Jones? Where's Tommy A.G.? Where's my defense? This is an 8-7 win, again in extra innings. Gosh, this new IRL MLB rule with a runner starting at second base has come into play. It's an 8-7 final for the home team, who's won every game. Matter of fact, going back to the previous series with the Giants and the Reds, the home team has won 8 in a row. Game 4, not anymore. In an interesting move in the offseason, the New York Mets went out and brought in Dennis Blair, a 1974 11-game winner with a 3.20 ERA, to their pitching staff. And this was somewhat surprising because the Mets, you wouldn't think they'd have to go get an import. You'd think like they would just develop all their guys. There's plenty of guys they could develop in their system. But they got Dennis Blair because his stats bear out. He's an outstanding starter 7. So they went out and signed him to be the number 4 guy. So they're going to ride with Dennis Blair in the 4-hole. He'll face Paul Mitchell, another 4 out of Baltimore's system. Baltimore gave up on him. I think he pitched for the Brewers, but Vegas has him at the 75 card. And the Mets roll this guy. A triple by Harmon, RBI, then homers by Soleta Lee Lacy again. A double by Harrelson, couple walks, couple singles. Grand slam by Tony Soleta in the 8th. Tony Soleta's getting lit up. I mean, he's starting to... First 3 games, he was kind of quiet. Game 4, he's arrived. While all this carnage is going on, the Mets piling on 10 runs against Paul Mitchell and a couple of relievers. Dennis Blair, a double by Gross and a single by Gross, a single by Ron Hodges, and a single by Ken Boswell in separate innings. That is it. Dennis Blair, 4-hitter, 5 walks, 2 Ks, complete game. Oh my goodness, Mets, another one. And the rest of the National League goes, what do we got to do? These guys, get these guys, they Seavers and Matlacks and Kuzmans, and now this Dennis Blair guy added to the mix. And the Mets do indeed get the 10-0 road win and win this series 3-1. We could take a look at the stats, I suppose, through the 4 games, just to get an indication of what the two teams are statistically. It's way early, of course. Vegas hitting 197 with a 5.59 ERA, mostly because of, well, that game you just saw. But the Mets, what a great start. I couldn't get the sweep, but the Mets are hitting 247. 247 for the Mets, pretty good. They got a sparkling 163 ERA. For your New York Mets. And they're like, hey, bring it on. We got the pitching this year. If we can get somebody to teach Lee Lacy how to catch fly balls, we'd be dominant. But that's it. The league through 13 games is hitting 266 with a 446 earned run average, 342 on base, a 152 whip. But break up the New York Mets. They defeat Las Vegas 3-1, and we'll see you next time.